Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Upper Tier Podcast. If you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, and of course, drop a like on the video. It is Thursday, so it's Thursday Tier Talk. I'm joined by my co-host, as I am every Thursday. Dazzler, how are we?
I'm doing good, brother. How are you?
Good, yeah, not too bad. A little bit under the weather. I feel a little bit sick or a bit fluey or something. So, but
you sound a little bit fluey, in fairness to you, Meow Flower.
Yeah, I'll send you a video later. I did a nasal wash last night. It's the funniest thing ever. Yeah.
Well, did you do was it a Neil Med?
The one with the squirty bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That can induce stuff because it's clearing the sinuses and it'll get everything out. But if you use that regularly, it's great stuff.
I always do it once a month or so. A month.
It's good stuff now.
Yeah, I just feel a little fucking wreck today, that's all. So we get into it anyway. Into the chat, Dano's there. Evening, lads. Hope all is well.
Good evening, Dean. How are you, Meow Flower?
And he's in there straight away. Ekatike deal, imminent Noilish, and all in on Rodrigo. Salah, Ekatike, Rodrigo, front three. Sounds magical. Darren's words on Ekatike excited me. Absolutely. This is a serious...
I'm going to say something mental. Here.
It's going to go down the road. We made the right decision.
Well, listen, here's the thing, right? I think for what you're putting out, right? How much you're putting on the table here. If you tell me I can have Hugo Ekitike for 100, or I can have Alexander Isak for 150. Knowing what we know about Alexander Isak and his injury record, although not bad this year, knowing what we know and knowing that there's a possibility of a breakdown, maybe along the way, I take Ekitike every day of the week and twice on a Sunday. Now, most people are going to go, but he hasn't played in the league. He's not proven. He's this, he's that. Anyone that's watched this kid has absolutely everything. He's built like an absolute brick shit house in the mold of an Alexander Isak. He's big, he's strong, he's going to hold defenders off, he can run the channel, he's ice cold in front of goal. Like, I think
scores all types of goals.
Lots of types of goals, headers from outside the box, tap-ins, one-on-ones. I don't see any, reason not to go in and get this kid. And I think sometimes it's easy to look at, Alexander Isak, who is what you would describe as he's made it in the Premier League, and you're buying maybe a finished product. Excuse me, but if you look at somebody like an Ekitike, I don't think he's got near a ceiling yet, and already he's one of the most exciting prospects in European football in the number 9 position. So for me, as much as it pains me as a United fan to watch it, I think if I'm a Liverpool fan, this is really exciting. An Ekitike and a Wirtz in behind, flanked by a Salah and a Rodrigo. Like, that's stacked.
Kerkez and Frimpong.
That's stacked, man. That's absolutely stacked. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting times at the moment to be a Liverpool fan. I mean, obviously we spoke last week about the passing of Diogo and the brother Andre. But apart from that, that takes a little bit of gloss off it and stuff. But apart from that, I mean, if that hadn't happened, this is probably one of the most exciting times I've had as a Liverpool fan in terms of owners that are actually showing ambition now and want to go out and actually want to sit at the top table and make a statement and stuff like that and all. And they're not staying on, they're not staying back. We're not talking about Qatar here or Abu Dhabi or Saudi or anything like that. We're talking about
the owners at the minute are putting you in a position to be at that top table for a long time and to be one of the premier, teams in world football. Not clubs, because Liverpool have always been a massive club, but they didn't always have the team to match the size of the club. But now they're on the way to that. And you can't. I think one thing, and I will say, is there any better way to honour Diogo Jota than to go out and win another Premier League title and lift it with the jerseys on and have his name across the back of it? And that would put a smile on his face too, because you know, he's very, very comfortable and he's very at home at Liverpool and stuff like that. And you can bet no matter where he is now, he's still pulling for Liverpool. So I think, you know, although it is tinged with sadness, it would be a nice tribute for Liverpool to go and get their hands on another league title in his name.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's one of those things. So, but it's and we kind of predicted that this window was going to heat up very quickly, and there's all sorts of stuff being done. We're going to talk. I did pick out a number of kind of key deals that haven't been done yet either, and I'm going to get your thoughts on them as well. And certainly, you've given me your thoughts kind of there on Ekatika and Isaac and stuff like that, so that was in there as well. But we've covered it anyway. So, but what we'll do is, if you can, folks, smash that like button. Make sure you're smashing that like button up, rally it up. I was more happy for Jota winning the Premier League than Liverpool themselves. He worked his balls off to get that honour. And well deserved, yeah. And he's a footballer who worked hard at his craft as well. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like he didn't slide into this kind of thing. You can tell by the background stories and everything else. Don't get my hopes up, Dazzler. I was lifting the league again. But with everyone in a Jota shirt sounds beautiful, yeah. And to have the mum there and the wife and the kids and the whole
absolutely
thing, you know, yeah. Absolutely.
That actually finishes. You know, we talk about people finishing their stories. Yeah. That finishes a story and turns a real negative into a positive. And, you know, you're talking about years to come where, you know, his wife is going to be able to tell those kids about their father and about the legacy he had and what the club did afterwards. And, you know, we don't know. Maybe he's not the last Jota we see wearing a Liverpool jersey in years to come, you know. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I was kind of
thinking the other day, if another Jota came along and reached that level and stuff like that, would that be the opportune time to maybe do something with the jersey or something like that rather than boxing it off? I don't know. That's miles down the road.
Absolutely.
Stuff like that. But, yeah, no, it would be absolutely sensational, I tell you. And listen, we're all emotional guys. And we're all football fans first and foremost, you know. So
absolutely.
Yeah, if you win the Premier League again, his wife, the honour to lift the trophy on his behalf. Yeah, absolutely. And I think the thing about this is in a kind of in a really nice and wonderful kind of way, if that can come out of a tragedy like this, they'll always be linked with the club now through the fund for the kids. You know, obviously through the contract getting paid off and the jersey being retired and all that kind of stuff. So it was
those kids will spend an awful lot of time in Anfield. Yeah. In their life. You know, they'll always be a part of the club. We've seen it with obviously Brody Lee's son and stuff like that. He's never been forgotten by Cody and guys like that, you know. And they do the birthday meet up every year and they go to Disney and stuff. And like, that's the right way to do things. You want to be a friend. You want to be a guy that was there for somebody. Be there when they're not there and be there for their kids. And you know what I mean? Yeah. That's top notch stuff. That is, you know, it really is.
100%. We do have a show actually coming up this. We have a show coming up this Saturday, and myself and Dina are going to be doing a Liverpool show, which is going to be made up of a tribute to Diogo Jota. I don't know, Darren, if you're around and you want to jump on, it's not a problem. Yeah, you might be caught up because it's Saturday. And we're also going to do a kind of a Liverpool catch-up where we're at with the transfer window. What else do we think is going to come in and out, and what our kind of thoughts are going into the new season and all that kind of stuff. So it won't be. It'll be a tough show in some aspects and stuff like that, but it should be a good one as well. And I'm sure we'll talk about other things like potentially from the Premier League with the wife and the mother and the kids and all that kind of stuff. No doubt will come up again. Imagine if United signed Nicholas Jackson. Oh, God. Yeah, no, we will talk about those kind of things. Name a stand after Jota, or even rename the training ground to him. Yeah, I'm sure they'll do something and all. And I wonder as well, myself and Dino were talking the other day whether they're maybe going to put something on the kit this season, and maybe that's why the kit hasn't been released yet, because we've all kind of seen the kits, but they haven't been officially released. So maybe they're trying to do something with them. Joanne's in there as well, and I just want to say as well again, Joanne and Warren too, that absolutely messaged me privately on Instagram to make sure I was okay after the Jota thing, and also Joanne again, really appreciate it, legend. Darren's face when you said, "Imagine United signing Jackson."
And actually, you're wrong. And I had an argument today over this, so I know I can just imagine. You've got a slide for this later on, right?
I don't. I actually don't.
You don't.
I don't.
So
I can't do that because I've been the one all last season that was bigging up Nicholas Jackson.
And
so
I've no problem with it. And actually, the Arsenal fan in the family, my cousin Paul, was on to me again, and he said, if you sign Nicholas Jackson, you may just sell the club and walk out. It's over. It's done with.
Mate, I said, sign Madueke.
I just said, you just signed Noni Madueke. What are you actually talking about? You just spent 50 million. He's only backup. He won't play. What are you spending 50 million on, lad, who ain't going to play for? He's fucking dog shit. I don't want to hear it. Like, get off the stage.
This is an Arsenal fan running down the Chelsea striker who just won a European Cup and is back in the Champions League and has just won the World Cup.
And I'm like, what planet are you on? I says, I got to be honest with you. I said, I take Nicholas Jackson over Noni Madueke every day of the week and twice on a Sunday. He went, you doing your... I said, on me dad's grave, I'm telling you, I take him every single day of the week and twice on a Sunday. The kid has attributes.
Darren, for 3 years, we've been bigging up these kids at Chelsea. We can't suddenly turn heel on them. You know what I mean? Jesus. All of a sudden, you know what I mean? It's mad. And for the record as well, I don't think Madueke's that bad a player either, actually.
I do.
Yeah, but I mean, I personally don't know. I don't know what's going to happen when he goes to Arsenal. But like, I mean, I don't like. I've spoken about.
Will I tell you what's gonna happen when he ends up at Arsenal?
Go on.
2 years down the line, he's gonna go to Nottingham Forest for 15 million.
I'll have to clip that. What's the crack? It's looking like Liverpool are signing Ekitike. Yeah, I back him, but I really wanted Isaac. I'm hoping we get Rodrigo next year. Looks like I think Arsenal were saying they pulled out of the Rodrigo race, so it looks like could be happening. We should see. All depends on whether what Rodrigo wants to do, to be honest. This season, I'm just going to enjoy watching all teams. I'm not bothered about Arsenal. They're going nowhere. Interesting. Well, you got to get your striker in.
Can you imagine, Roy? Here's the thing. Can you imagine not watching the Premier League as a fan of any of the teams? And I've said this before in our group about how much enjoyment I get watching football where I don't have a horse in the race and either team winning and goals and cards and VARs and the whole shoot match. I think it will be epic. Would I be able to do it? Not at all. Not unless United got relegated and they weren't in the league. But otherwise,
we shall see.
Yeah, right, Dino.
But then, if you go back, if you go back and look at the podcast, and even go back and look at our WhatsApp group, I've said time and time again, I don't think either of these two are bad players. It just depends on where you're at and the level that you're at and stuff like that and all. But they'll say Nicholas Jackson go in and do a job for you from no bother at all. Frautetta will play Donkey up front and Yerkes on the left. No, he won't. That's certainly not happening.
That's Jerry being silly, Jerry.
Right, lads, we're going to get into the kits. Let us know your thoughts in the chat on the kits. I'm just going to...
I really hope you have my favourite kit in the lineup.
I have every kit that's released in the lineup, and I'm not sure whether I have also potential ones as well, but I think, I definitely have Palace as far as I know.
They're not top of my list. They're not. Okay. No, they're not top of my list. It's gonna absolutely break.
Oh, sorry, I know who top of your list is actually. Yeah,
it's gonna break my soul to tell you who's top of my list, but we'll go there in a minute anyway.
Yeah.
Right,
so let's start Arsenal. Nice clean lines as we'd expect.
It's real clean, but is it very samey? Does it not look like it's been like this for about 10 years at this stage?
Yeah, they kind of have. There's a Gothic style imprinted in it as well, but it kind of like. I don't know. I think there's something to be said about that as well. If you have a kit to keep it,
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's not offensive at all. I just think
it's not going to make the lineup.
It ain't making the lineup, unfortunately. Yeah. That's the problem.
You got to push it that bit further.
Yeah, you've got to.
Yeah.
Maybe
the Gothic print needs to be more visual or something like that. I don't know. Next up, Aston Villa. Kind of is what it is. What do you think of the kind of gold stuff going around the sleeves and stuff and all that?
I actually like the gold stuff. I think there's a nice accent with the claret and blue there. But I mean, if you scroll back up to Arsenal, just scroll back up for a second, will you?
Yeah. Hang on 1 second.
Look at how similar that is with the sleeves. See the way they've done the red through the middle and the white, and they've just gone and doubled over it with the claret and blue at Villa. I'm like, give me something, lads. Do you know? Like, it just looks a bit. Look at that. It's too samey. And I know it's the same manufacturer, so I do understand. You know, they probably can't design a brand new kit for everybody and whatever. But like, I feel a bit cheated.
Well, you would imagine they can, but we find sometimes with Nike. Sometimes we've found doing these kit shows that when you look at Nike and Adidas, they tend to go down the lazy route. Whereas, you know, if you're going into summer, because I think over the last few years, I don't think Nike and Adidas has won kit of the year for us, has it, since we started doing this? I don't think it has.
Absolutely it hasn't.
No. Yeah, so let's keep on going anyway. Bournemouth, this is one I actually like.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah. I'm not sure having BJ 88 on the middle of it is the best idea. But
no, listen,
again, not bad. I think Bournemouth will look well in that. And again, I like the gold. You're right. It doesn't look any different, Joanne. And they're going to charge you 100 quid for the privilege.
They're going to charge you 125.
It's fucking scandalous.
Brentford.
Now, this brings me back.
Lacing.
I can't. Oh, I can see it now. Yeah. Well, this brings me back for a particular reason. Because I can see the maker of this kit is Joma, or as the Spanish call it, Yoma. And they used to make our kit previously. And they were all funny sizes and shapes. So I wonder what they're
like ourselves.
I wonder what they're is a large or is a large a small now? I want teams like 100% sunglasses, 100%. I don't think that's that bad actually. I think with the black shorts that look pretty well. It's not a bad kit, and I like that it's a standalone manufacturer rather than just one of the 10 Adidas kits. You know.
What do you think of the kind of lace design in there? The kind of fake lace design, if you like.
Yeah, it's quite. It's cool. Yeah. It adds something different, and there's not gonna. How many kits in the league are gonna have it? One.
Unless there's another Jomo kid, I'd imagine.
Right. So there you go. I love something that there's not loads of teams doing.
Brighton.
That's a good looking jersey. I got to be honest. That looks well.
Yeah.
That looks well. I like the blue and the white.
From the round neck to the V-neck.
Got a little bit of a V-neck. That looks well. I'm all right with that. I like the American Express across the front of it. It's nice and neat. It's nothing silly. It's it's legible. No, I'm all right with Brighton. Brighton's not too bad now. They've done all right there.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Burnley.
I'm really, and I should apologise in advance. You know, sometimes certain things can turn you off kits. Well, do you want to know what turns me off the Burnley kit? The manufacturer, Castor, are their stuff is such bad quality, man. It's such bad quality. The shapes are terrible. Like it's either very square and boxy or it's long, and I don't like what Castor make. Really, really don't. I'm not a fan of the brand at all. And they've done a reasonable design with the jersey, but I just imagine again it'll be subpar and shit quality from Castor.
Do they do the rugby stuff as well?
They do the Leinster gear,
Yeah. Interesting. Chelsea, they'll have that big World Champions gold badge right in the middle of it as well. Hasn't been put in yet, but
this looks all right. This looks all right. And if you've seen the Chelsea away kit, the cream and green, this is actually all right. Because I wouldn't be a huge fan of the cream and green at all. But this is a decent kit. The blue, I like the red and white stripes down the side of it. Once the manufacturer goes across, or the sponsor goes across the front of it, I think it'll look pretty well.
If there's a sponsor.
I think that'd be clever. I think they know there's money to be spent. Excuse me.
This is one that had us both divided the other day. Now I have to say I didn't see the short sleeve. I only seen the long sleeve, and it kind of looked a bit weird. So maybe that's what was throwing me the other day. We're always normally big fans of the Palace kits.
Well, Macron have made a couple of beautiful kits in the last couple of seasons.
They won the last 2 years on our kit show, don't they?
They did Forest and Palace and stuff like that. So really, they were really doing a top job. This doesn't sit as well with me. I'm not sure why, because I mean it's a similar sort of a stripe. I think it's a little. Yeah, I think you're right. In I think that with the Palace kit, it's a little more separated rather than the way they kind of blurred the lines on it a bit last year, which made it look a bit cleaner and a bit smoother. Rather than cleaner. Cleaner is the lines. I'm not as big a fan of it as I have been.
Yeah, because I think last year we got a kind of a fade-in design and all, didn't we? A kind of a blending, and it looked.
That's
really
right.
Nice.
There was a blending, and it looked real well, and I thought that was really nice, man.
Yeah, just Joanne. By the way, I think it's a Villa's second shirt or something like that. I think is really nice. It's a kind of a greyish navy kind of thing or something. Looks really well.
Villa had a really nice navy kit last season.
Yeah, they have a nice one this season as well, I think.
So I can imagine that it might look pretty well this year as well.
Everton, bit disappointing, no? Going into a new stadium.
Who's the manufacturer?
Yeah, same.
Castor. Same. Boom. Good night. God bless.
But I mean, whatever about the quality and the sizing and all that kind of stuff. You're going into a brand new stadium. You should be your kid should be knocking it out of the park. You know
should the kit this year not have been very similar to the kit United would have had in 92, 93, where we had Old Trafford and blazing through the jersey? Was this not an opportunity for Goodison Park to stay as part of the story? You know, while you're because you could have blended the old with the new into the new stadium. There's a huge Gladys Street, all of these things.
This is real lazy, isn't it?
Excuse me, it's Castor, told you.
I'll take some comments here. Brentford is a nice too, yeah, absolutely.
I think it's all right, Joanne, yeah.
Henderson and Brentford. We won't get Darren's thoughts on that. We know his thoughts on them. Can we do other countries' kits still one night? Yeah, absolutely. Of course we will. Plenty of time. Love the collar on Brentford.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we do. We are fans of the collar or the polo design, that's for sure. Keith Andrews is favourite for second the Premier League. Brighton is lovely, yeah. Clean designs. I think some of the jerseys just lend themselves to clean designs, don't they?
Yeah. I need a striped teams.
Yeah. Leeds.
So I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag slightly here. And I'm gonna get you another picture. I think this looks pretty well. My only real issue with it is I don't love white. However, it doesn't suit us.
We're big lads.
However, if you've managed to see the new Leeds kit that was launched today, if I'm right, and I'm gonna just show you a little picture here. This is possibly my favorite kit, and it breaks me heart to say it. This is phenomenal. You see this?
Yes, I did see that, yeah.
This is blue and yellow or blue and gold, and it looks phenomenal. They've done a serious job. Not too dissimilar to the white, but obviously it's got the blue stripes with a little fleck in it, and they've gone for a little more of a V-neck, and then the yellow, white, and yellow on the sleeves. This is absolutely top drawer from Adidas. Here it is again.
Again, I would have thought back in the Premier League, you know, you would have your home jersey, you would have wanted to knock it out of the park. Yeah, no,
isn't that quality?
Yeah, no, it's really nice. We always like those things down the side as well. Pretty cool.
And as much as I'm not a Leeds fan, there you go. The quality is so poor, it's scary. And you know what's also batshit crazy? Because you know I like a visit to the outlets. And in the outlets now, they have a Castor shop. And you're going, hold on, lads. If the regular stuff you put in here is shit, what are you putting in this shop? Like, the outlet stuff must be absolute garbage. You know, like such poor quality. Not a fan at all, I have to say.
Yeah, that black, blue, and silver, is that like a polo shirt, Acers as well? I seen another tour kit today. It was like a polo shirt, and I thought it was gorgeous. Chelsea shirt is nice, very smart, and Burnley is nice.
I like the Chelsea one. I think it looks well. Not a fan, Joanne. Not a fan.
Not of the Everton one. No, I think it's Queens of basic bitches as always. I swear they should just keep the one from '95. Yeah, absolutely. Right, let's keep on going anyway. Man City. They've kind of pegged back a bit, have they? They've kind of gone that old kind of Sampdoria route nearly, or something, or Napoli or Lazio.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's not bad, you know.
Because they had some outrageous shit last year, didn't they? Like,
well, the second and the third kits, there's always issues because they don't really have a second set of colours.
Even the font didn't look great at all. Remember that goofy font they
this
had
is
as well?
this looks well now, I have to say. And I've seen it. Have you seen it top to bottom?
No.
Top to bottom, it looks quite well. They've obviously got the option of a darker set of shorts and lighter socks, or they have the whole kit in that lighter blue kit where they go blue, 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 and it looks quite well. In fairness, the Leeds away kit is outstanding.
Yeah,
outstanding.
Right. I'm not too sure if this is this the new one? Is this your new one?
This is the new one. Yeah.
What's the design going shoulder sleeves? The embedded design, do you know, or is it mentioned here? Old Trafford's legacy takes center stage.
Yeah, Theatre of Dreams moniker. Yeah.
Listen,
it's another marketing tool. I know they did the very same thing with Chelsea and this green and orange and cream that they've brought out, and it's, you know, in the fabric of London, you know, all this shit. It's so strange that's what they try and sell it on. I think the United jersey, if you look at it, it's Arsenal and Villa, isn't it? It's very similar with Adidas. You've got they've just went red with the red panels instead of red and white or claret and blue. They've just gone all red. It's inoffensive, but I think at times they could try harder. They really could.
I suppose the bit of effort in it is they continued the black pinstripe right down to the bottom on the sides. They could have cut that off up at the top if they wanted and gone really like lazy, you know.
What I will say is, and I can't tell you how much I dislike agreeing with Cherry, but our away kit is absolutely horrendous. It's horrendous.
Is this the throwback black and yellow?
No, that's the third. This is the one. This looks great. That's the one I'm hanging on for. But the away jersey is a white and purple, and it's a sad state of affairs. It's a real poor jersey.
Is the Chelsea one a purple one as well, or a mauvey kind of color or something?
I'm not sure. I know their away one is the cream with the green and orange on it. I've seen that. That's
might be their third one. Newcastle.
Not bad. It's not bad. It's Adidas. Is it very samey? Is it very samey, as in, you know, your middle panel and your separate panels? And I don't know. I just think they could do better. I really do.
Yeah, me and Darren would be big fans of that. The old goalkeeper jerseys full of colours and everything and all. Yeah, crazy.
Absolutely. As Dino mentioned earlier, the old Jorge Campos. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Man City shirt is snazzy. Go. Right, where
looks all right, I have to say, Joanne.
This is your one that you've been, and from the pictures you sent me, this picture doesn't do this jersey.
No, I don't think it does either. This looks absolutely tops. This is a throwback, sort of a retro jersey from Adidas. It's the best one they've done this season. And the pinstripe in it, obviously the crest. There's no sponsor on it yet. It looks very clean. Yeah. It looks really sharp. And Forest, I think it's fitting Forest will go into a European campaign looking like this. This is the best Adidas kit that we've seen this season. And I'm like, it's great for Forest, but if I'm a United fan, I'm like,
Maybe it was their
Do
fear
better,
of
lads.
Maybe it was their fear of Marinakis or something, was it?
Who knows?
But we do love the polo shirts. Always look so much better, don't they? With the nice tidy little collar, they always look better, don't they? For some
sometimes it does depend on how well the collar sits, because you know sometimes when you wash them and they start to turn up from the end, and you're a little bit like, what did he say?
He says City's. What did he say? City's kick could be the nicest in history, and I'd still say it's piss. Hate the bastards. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. That's all good.
Is it, Joanne? Jesus, that's mad.
Yeah. There we go.
I have to say, I'm looking forward to the blue, black, and red. The blue, black, and yellow. That's the third kit. I'm really looking forward to that. If you see me going to a United game this season, I will be wearing the black, blue, and yellow. I'm going to be all about that this year.
King Eric on the back.
King Cunha. King Cunha.
That's United throwback to Beckham Wimbledon goal. There we go. Man City jersey looks like it got bleach spilled on it. There we go. Did you see the green one that was doing the rounds that somebody made on their computer? It was fucking beautiful. They always are. Like, they should get people they should run competitions for these things or something, shouldn't they?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Spurs?
It's a training kit. Isn't it?
Yeah, I always find it weird when the crest and the manufacturer is stacked.
I don't love everything stacked on top. There's no real collar on it. It's very bland. It's not great.
Yeah. It does look very like the train on top, the warm-up top, doesn't it?
It does. It's poor for me, I have to say.
Yeah, and then it's weird, isn't it? Like back in the Champions League and all, and it should be knocking it.
Absolutely.
Heard that model in the United shirt got a trial because he looks the part. Got signed, He got signed.
5-year deal, 300 bags a week.
Yeah, Canton Tribute. Yeah, it is.
That's right.
It actually, when I seen the tour kit, I was thinking it brought me back to those all tough days. Actually, what do you think, Jared Bowen?
It's absolutely putrid. It really is. This is poor. Boyle Sports kills it as well for me. I have to be honest. It just
West
looks
Ham.
like something.
West Ham have opted for a minimalist kit this season.
If someone told you it was Westmead's GAA jersey, with the Boyle Sports and the it's very poor.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to it, is there really?
There's really not.
Yeah, and we're big fans of Jared Bowen. Wolves, don't know if Ryan's in the chat. Wolves, I think this one looks better in the other images I've seen. I don't think this does it justice at all.
Well, I think you're getting a really poor representation of the colour, because I think it's a much more of a gold colour.
Yeah, it's more of a goldy colour, isn't it?
Yeah, and I actually think with the black cuffs and with the black collar, it looks quite snazzy.
What do you think, Darren? Baz in? Likes the home and likes the third, doesn't like the second.
Yeah, not a fan of the second, Baz. I think it's absolutely putrid looking. The first one, the home kit, I could take it or leave it, really. But the third kit is the star of the show for me. And actually, if you don't mind indulging me for a moment, the goalkeeper's jersey, the goalkeeping jersey at United, and I don't know whether you've seen this yet. Have you seen this?
No.
The goalkeeping jersey at United is absolutely top drawer. Now, when I say top drawer, I mean top drawer. I'm getting you an image up here now. I really hope it's not Andre Onana in it, but I fear it might be. Where are we going here?
Saudi brand bleach.
Jerseys. Goalkeepers. Men's. Here we go. We're back in the habit. We are back in the habit. It's not Andre Onana, even better. This is like a black body with grey arms, and there's a pattern going through the jersey, and then it's highlighted with neon yellow.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This is legit. This is really nice now, I have to say. This is very, very nice. Like that's way better than the
ones
away
I saying
kit.
the ones I saying for our goalkeeper, the Adidas tops looks like the standard 3 striper that we used to wear to the raves in the 90s. It's just a black one with white striping and everything. All there's nothing on there. I don't know if that's the one because we've only been seeing images and stuff, you know.
Yeah,
that
of
for this
course.
92 Sheringham goal against Liverpool at City Ground.
Here's our away one that's causing all the issues.
Yeah,
that's not great. That's not great at all.
Sometimes we've seen with some of the kits that we don't like, and then we go back after a couple of weeks of seeing them on their pitch, and we change our minds slightly, you know. So,
well, I won't be changing my mind on that one because that's staying on the rack. That ain't coming into my house.
Keith, that black and white jersey you're saying, I think, is it the tour kit or is it the goalkeeper kit? I think it's the goalkeeper kit. I'm not too sure now from what I've seen. Forest shirt looks like one of my old school PE shirts. There you go. I don't like the collar on the shirts myself. Oh no, I love the collars. I think they're class. I think they bring a little bit of tradition to them. I think that's it. I think that's all we have at the moment. Yeah, Wolves would be.
That's very cool. Yeah,
that's
very cool. Ted has sent me the mock-up. This is obviously where someone's gone over what we had last year and then just dabbed it with colour.
Yeah,
I'd have no issue with that. That's very tidy. See, the green and black.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
Oh, that's the one he was saying, the mock-up. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's very nice. I like that. We're not going that route though, Ted, so keep your opinions to yourself, son.
Yeah, spot on, Dano. It does. Looks like the warm-up, doesn't it? The training kit or something. Yeah, the Spurs.
Yeah, very training kit.
Yeah. Spurs black away kit is lit. Spurs T90 yellow blue with old crest. Okay, interesting. West Ham away kit is 96, 97 cream and navy. Maybe they were focusing on the away kits. A lot of the away kits seem to be nicer. That West Ham shirt looks like the East End bangers and mash. Yeah, does. That would be a huge incentive for clubs if they left, say, their tour kit down to the winner of a respective club's having competition for kids under 12s to design them or something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Forget the kids. I want to do it, Dino.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to do it. Aston Villa has the same goalkeeper kit as United.
Yeah, they do it all the time. They do it all. Not Villa, but
they might have the same goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Say nothing.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. More sponsors on shirts now than a NASCAR race car. I think they could push it even further. I don't think they're too much at all. I think the betting logos are a bit they're a bit out there, aren't they?
Yeah. Especially when it's some far flung, Chinese betting firm.
Non-existent betting firm.
That's just a front for Mongolian money and trafficking people.
Yeah.
And you're like, lads, come on, will you?
Yeah, that literally took in 5 accumulators at the weekend and that's it. Yeah.
It's Scrabble bet, and you're like, what? Oh, what's going on here?
Just sent your picture. Yeah, you just got it there. Yeah,
got it there, Ted.
That white Man United shirt, I wouldn't clean my car tires with it. Never mind where.
I don't reckon it'd do a great job, Romy. No. But you're right, it's not great.
Like Homer winning the competition in The Simpsons. Forget those kids, Homer. He beat their brains out. Yeah, absolutely. There we go. Right, we want to talk transfers. So I just want to bring in another stop screen, and I want to bring in another screen so we can go to it. I sound awful. I sound like that when they were slagging off. What's her name? Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus. Remember her voice? That's how I sound like tonight. That's how I feel like I sound anyway. Right, let's go back up here and have a look and see what we want to talk about. I also have a slide as well, so we'll talk about individual things that kind of haven't landed yet, Let's kick off again. We'll start at top level, like Arsenal. What do you think about Arsenal? I suppose Yerkes is going to happen anyway as well, so we can include that, I would imagine. And I'd imagine, what you're thinking on the I was going to get your thoughts later on it, but they're heavily linked with the boy Eberechi Eze as well, and obviously Chelsea have entered the battle there as well. How do you see that panning out?
Excuse me, I'd like to know first of all where they're all getting the money from. Obviously Zubamendi's a huge signing. You've got Kepa who'll come in and play number 2. You got Norgard. I think Norgard's a real clever signing, Premier League proven. He's a good age. He makes a difference to the team now and to the squad. Obviously with Jorginho and Partey leaving the building, he brings a bit of experience and stuff like that into the side. You've got Noni having signed on as well. As much as we don't like him, it's 50 million they've spent. Gyökeres on the way in, and probably the boy Christian Mosquera. So, Arsenal have done a lot in this window. They really have. They've addressed a lot of stuff. I didn't see the Eze thing with Arsenal. It would surprise me somewhat because I'm looking at him going, where does he fit in? And listen, I do understand that you're going to need more than 11 players, but I'm looking at Eberechi Eze and I'm like, why would he come to Arsenal? The likelihood is he comes to Arsenal and ends up not playing as much football as he would want. And yes, he's at a big club, but maybe he wants to be. Yeah, I don't think it's a great. Whereas I think Eberechi Eze to Chelsea is a much better sign for.
If he goes to Arsenal, where are you playing him? I mean, where'd you play him? Or if you are playing him, who comes out?
Oh, he plays on the left.
Plays on the left. So
he plays on the left. So you're going Saka and Eze. You're going Gyökeres and Odegaard. You're going Zubamendi and Rice. And then you've got your back four and your keeper.
So for me or you, I'm sure we're thinking, are we on the same line here that Eze starts well before Martinelli and Trossard?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So then playing time isn't going to be a problem, is it?
Well, if they decide to play him on the left, now, if they decide to try and put him in with Odegaard and play him in that 10 position, that's different. Because I think, Odegaard's a much different ball game than Martinelli and Trossard. I think they should, if they were going to buy him, they should play him on the left. But I don't necessarily think that's what they're doing it for, I think if you play him on the left, you balance things out really well. Because obviously you've got a massive threat down one side, you've got a massive threat down the other, you've a big guy up front that can hold the ball up and stuff like that. You've Odegaard scheming in behind him. You've Declan Rice at the 8 going box to box, and you've Zubamendi shoring up in the 6. That's a serious 6 from the midfield in the front. That's serious. It really is. That's actually scary.
I suppose the fact that Odegaard is carrying the captaincy at the moment makes the decision a little bit difficult. But is there a world where we see Eze going in there? I know Arteta's obviously not going to sit Odegaard down because he's his captain, and he'll take that to the grave because that's what he does. But if you were picking both boys, all things being equal, and Odegaard saying not being captain, who are you looking better for output and all? Who's going to get you that additional GA you need?
I think you probably dovetail them, and somebody gets a certain amount of game time and the other guy gets the rest of it, and I think that's what you probably do. You don't make a set decision on this is me 1 and this is me 2. Yeah. I just think you pop them in and out, and you take the load off Odegaard. I think at times Odegaard looks very, very tired and very jaded. And I think because he obviously has a lot on
as well. Tends to be subbed.
He gets subbed an awful lot for the captain, an awful lot. Yeah. So maybe it's a situation where you're lightening his workload to get the best out of him. And that's not also a bad thing. But I don't think it redresses the issue on the left hand side then either. So it'll be interesting to see. We know Arteta Like, the likelihood is you could play him right back and we'll all be stumped because that's just, he tends to do things like this, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Let's move on from Arsenal. Not going to touch on Villa really because there isn't a whole lot going on there. We've
I
already
think
touched
Villa
on
need to
Bournemouth.
do something, you know?
Yeah,
Really
absolutely.
do.
I think they were obviously waiting on the
anything,
sale of the women's team and all, weren't they? I presume.
yeah, but I think the issue here is if you look at it, like, you know, and this is very much how I feel about our own window at the minute. With a lot of teams, like, you know, City have obviously done a lot. Arsenal have done a lot. Chelsea have done a couple of bits. Liverpool have done a lot. Like, if you're not going forward in this window, you're going backwards. And I feel like with Villa at the minute, they're moving further and further away in that top 4 or 5 based on what they've done and what they're going to do, which is tough for them.
Keith, we always do a prediction show. But the way we do the prediction show is we do it out there live with the chat as well. But if anyone wants to come on, because we do it like a panel show, because we like people to come on for those prediction shows.
This is true.
If anyone wants to come on, anyone in the chat at all wants to come on and be a part of the prediction show, you're more than welcome to come on because we always have a big panel. I think
we would love to share the screen with some of these guys. Keith and Joanne and Romy and you know,
don't be sure to come on, lads. Come on.
And
Ryan,
a big part of this channel. And Jack and all of that.
Yeah. Dano will be on anyway. Dano always comes on. United linked with Sesko. I thought they said they were absolutely broke. I presume they're doing it on the basis of hoping to get stuff done in terms of the market.
Well, I don't know if we said we were broke.
A bit tight. A tad tight, maybe. Yeah.
Because I know there's obviously, and we spoke about it, that there's not necessarily PSR issues. The issue is more cash readies, cash money heroes that isn't there. But I think with hopefully some outgoings to come over the next couple of weeks, we can start getting the ball moving on things a bit more.
Yeah. Yes. We're not going to touch on. Well, I mean, do you want to touch on Brentford from a Visa and Buemo point of view? And what you're thinking is that came up in our chat today on WhatsApp. Obviously, Jordan Henderson going in there. I don't need to ask you your thoughts on that. He's going in there to provide a bit of experience or whatever.
And you know what? To provide a bit of experience, it's not a bad signing.
No,
it's not a bad signing. And if you look at Norgard leaving the building, and obviously Henderson coming in, they've gotten 15 million for Norgard, and they've brought Henderson in for free. So it's not a dreadful piece of business, really, is it?
No. It just kind of feels like it's Brentford planning for a tough season, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you know what? I think sometimes you got to be clever there and go, right, we can't redress what's happened in the squad in this window. We're going to have to do it over multiple windows to get back to where we want to be. So let's bring some stopgaps in and stuff like that and see what we can do, you know?
See where we land, yeah.
Yeah.
Brighton is another one who's kind of gone under our radar a little bit, isn't it? They've brought in a number of players once again. I'm not overly familiar with a lot of them, but that doesn't mean these aren't going to be good players. And they paid a few quid for some of them.
Spent 32 million on the Greek striker from Olympiacos. So they're nailing the mass to him. The boy Tom Watson's the boy that got one of the goals in the championship playoff for Sunderland. The Kuiper at Club Brugge is a very tidy footballer. And the boy Diego Capella at Hellas Verona is a good player as well. So, like, I have to tell you, at Brighton, for me, it's not necessarily what they've brought in, it's what they've let go. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, you've obviously let João Pedro leave, and then you let Simon Adingra leave, and I'm just thinking, this is crazy. Now I know they've obviously got a reserve of the next round, and you know where it's Yakuba Minta and guys like that, but they're a money making machine, Brighton, aren't they?
Yeah, and they could lose more players. I mean, they're certainly going to be interested in the likes of Matoma. They're certainly going to be interested in the boy Baliba. The
Well,
other boy,
the boy believe it'll be the crown jewel. I think this time, won't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Phil, you're welcome to come on. Just let us know. We'll drop the link into the chat when we're doing that prediction show.
100%, Philip.
Anyone who wants to come on, we love doing those shows. That's for sure. Right. Burnley, what do you make? Kyle Walker going in again, bringing that bit of quality and experience.
Yeah, well, listen, here's the thing. You bring in Kyle Walker, bit of quality, bit of experience, and then you look at what's coming in after it and you just think, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I just think I'm not sure. There's a lot of holes in the Burnley squad for me. And I think looking at them on paper, that Burnley could be the weakest team in this league. That's what I think at the minute. I think they could be there's always a team that sinks like a stone. I think it could be Burnley because I think Leeds are making moves and Sunderland are making massive moves. Now, don't forget, Burnley were much further off down the line than Sunderland were, because Sunderland only came up to the playoffs and Burnley obviously won the league and stuff like that. So there was a gulf already. But I think Sunderland have done a phenomenal job in closing the gap to a point where I think
Leeds won it. Burnley were second, remember?
Oh,
Leeds.
it was,
on the last day?
Last day of the season,
Yeah, it's class.
But the two teams are 30 points clear of most of them.
Yeah.
But definitely, I think Burnley will be the one to struggle. I think Leeds are doing the right things. They're putting a lot of good pillars in place. I think Sunderland are doing a lot of good transfer business, spending big money, buying some really talented footballers. Whereas I think Burnley are doing a little bit of the penny pinching, a little bit of penny pinching. Axel 2 on Zeeby, free, Max Voice 4.2, Jacob Brun Larson, who was already at them and didn't have a great time of it. There's a lot of dead wood there at Burnley for me. That's
the wrong Larson to have. It's the other Larson.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Chelsea. Talk about Chelsea. What are we thinking at the moment? World champs.
World champs, and we gotta congratulate them. Well, I certainly do. I wasn't here on Monday's show.
Yeah.
And Chelsea were very good value for their victory. Against PSG. Maresca had them pouring. They've been very, very good at the back all tournament. A guy who we spoke about most of the season and a guy who we talked about not being of the level that Chelsea would want was Robert Sanchez. However, when we got to that final, he certainly turned up and he put in a performance that was way above what we've seen in a Chelsea jersey. Maybe not a Porto jersey.
Where's this distribution been all season, lads?
Right, so just crazy.
Levels.
Obviously, as well, with the speed and pace in the Premier League and with the lack of pace due to the heat, he had an awful lot more time on his hands to make decisions and to put balls into areas that he needed it and stuff like that. So I think if you could look at it and say, if we can get him the right kind of headspace, we know technically he can do the job.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea, if I'm a Chelsea fan, I got to be very excited here looking at this.
Yeah. That movement of that front line and the final and everything and the interchanging and all was top notch.
I think I've been a João Pedro fan for a couple of years because if you remember when we spoke about this, I spoke about the boy João Pedro when he was at Watford before he came into the league with Brighton. In a very, and the two players I mentioned at the time were João Pedro and Ismaila Sarr. Sarr did a phenomenal job at Palace last season, coming back from Marseille, and Pedro has obviously gone from strength to strength since leaving Watford, going to Brighton, and now he's at his way at Chelsea. I thought Liam Delap looked scary when he came on. Obviously, nearly put a 30-yarder in the top bin within the first 30 seconds. The boy William Estavio is a phenomenal baller. And I'm going to make another prediction. I think the biggest problem you're going to see at Chelsea is the boy Jamie Boyno Gittins not getting to the level that they thought he was at. I don't think this kid is as good as they think. I think the boy João Pedro is probably better than they realise. I think the boy William Estavio is absolutely phenomenal. I think the boy Estavio will be next level shit completely. I think Jamie
Gittins play on the left, does he? So he's up against Pedro Neto, is it?
He can play on either side, right or left.
Okay.
But I think,
does he go into the slot now where Madueke's gone there?
Well, possibly. Yeah. Possibly. But
he looked good at Dortmund though, didn't he?
He did. He didn't look any better than Jadon Sancho did.
He's a big lad as well, isn't he? He's a unit, isn't he?
He's tall. He's gangly. Yeah. I'm not sold on him. They definitely didn't. In a very similar vein that when United were looking to sign Sancho, there wasn't a queue of people behind them. There wasn't a queue of people for this boy Gittins either. I don't think this is. I think 52 million is a lot of money here for this lad. And if I look at Liam Delap at 30 million, I think this is a bargain. The boy, William Estavio, 29 million, a bargain. You've almost got the two lads for the same price of Gittins. I don't think he's going to be anything near what Chelsea think they're getting.
Well, Delap was Delap a release clause?
He was a release clause, yeah, that's right.
So it makes life a little bit easier in fairness. Now,
it does. It absolutely does. Newcastle wanted him as well. United wanted him as well. I think if you look at him last week, I've made some bold predictions around Liam Delap. I personally think he's England's number 9. I think he's the number 9 in weight, and I think he'll come in behind Harry Kane and he'll take that number 9 jersey. And I think he'll do a phenomenal job for England.
He's the guy to watch out for next summer, then,
I think so.
Assuming obviously
if he gets the game time at Chelsea, I think you'll see him there. And when you're 65, 70 minutes into a game and Harry Kane is getting let off on a Zimmer frame, I think it'll be bring on Liam Delap and let's give these centre backs hell for the next 20, 30 minutes and try and get back into our nick.
We don't necessarily like to do preferences there, but if you were in the hot seat and you're trying to pick a preference there, are you picking a number 1 and 2 there? Is Pedro number 1? Delap number 2, or what way do you look at it?
For position?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily. I think they'll play the boy João Pedro at times on the left hand side. I don't think they'll play him as a 9.
He's frightening inside though, isn't he?
He is, but his work rate is great as well, and he's very, very quick, and he presses really well. So the wide position can suit when he gets more of the ball out there. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Pedro on the left hand side, to see Delap through the middle, to see a Gittins or a Neto on the right with a Palmer behind. Like, that's scary.
Yeah. That finish the other night in the final was a guy who was on top of his game, though, wasn't it? That
absolutely.
Most lads would try and blast that. He just dinked it over him. You knew he was in full control.
No. It's a really good finish. He's high on confidence after the 2 goals in the semi-final. He's a phenomenal footballer.
Do you see Chelsea being a part of the kick around up the top end of the table? Think they'll have a card in the game? We did kind of predict this season, didn't we, that this could be the coming out season, really, isn't it?
Excuse me. Listen, at the minute, for me, the favourites are Liverpool with what they've done in the market. They're obviously league title holders and what they've done in the market. I think City are going to come back in a big way, and then I think the next best is Arsenal and Chelsea. That's, if you're going to ask me now, what's the top 4? I'm going to go Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Chelsea, in that order. I think that's where we are now.
Yeah, we've touched on Liverpool already, so we don't.
Yeah, let's keep scrolling past. I don't need to see that. Like, you know what I mean? It hurts a bit.
We've touched on Man City. We'll discuss your club shortly because I have a slide for it. Like, it's not I'll get your thoughts on a couple of things. Newcastle obviously sticking out their chest today, trying to say that they force us into the Ekitike deal, but little do they know there's a release clause there, so that we inflated the price and we overpaid and all this kind of thing. No, we didn't. Go check your information. Newcastle. What do you think in Newcastle at the moment? Obviously, Callum Wilson gone. It looks like Isaac is probably going to stay. Anthony Elanga going in there. I think Anthony Elanga will do a job there. But what way do you think Elanga is going to work out? Who's he going in there? He's up against Jacob Murphy, is it?
He's up against Jacob Murphy, so he takes the spot.
Yeah.
You know, and I think on the other side, I think it's starting to give them some good depth. You've obviously got Alanga on the right, backed up by Murphy. You've got Gordon on the left, backed up by Harvey Barnes. You've got Isak going in there at 9. You've got Bruno and Jolinton and Tonali all in behind in the midfield. And then you've probably got, you know, a Vissa or somebody like that coming in to back up Alexander Isak as well. So, like, Newcastle are building. They're doing a really good job. I fully expect James Trafford to sign as well. So again, they're bringing great backup for Nick Pope and to challenge for that first jersey. So yeah, huge competition for places at Newcastle, and you know they might not be spending as much as some of the other teams, but we know how good Eddie Howe is. Yeah. Eddie Howe has been phenomenal since going to Newcastle. Absolutely phenomenal. He really has.
Especially I think at times at the end of the season. Yeah.
I think at times it's underestimated the job he's done there at Newcastle. It's been phenomenal, you know.
Yeah, didn't know half of the Brighton signings last few years, and they've done all right in the end. Yeah, that's phenomenal. Probably you could argue nearly the best scouting in the league.
Oh, they're absolutely the best. Yeah, 100%. Best scouting league by a mile.
Yeah. Brighton.
But the one thing I will tell you about Brighton, and I don't think this is a fluke either. You look at Tony Bloom, he's a horseman, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the time, what Brighton do is they take educated risks in their signings, and they look at players and they go in at certain levels where they're very, very comfortable, and they go, okay, this lad's coming in the door for 15 million. If things go well, he's 60. If things don't go well, he's 8. What have we lost? We haven't lost. We've lost 7 mil. But if things go well, we can quadruple the 15 million. I think they're really, really clever. I really do.
Yeah. Interesting. Right. Let's get into this then. I put together a slide that I wanted you to take a look at. Some of it we've already covered. I wanted to get your thoughts. Let's start off, obviously, with one of our own. Evan Ferguson, potentially looking like shoring up a deal there to go to Roma. What do you think about this? This guy, previous seasons, was touted as the next big thing. Valuations were going through the roof. He kind of was phenomenal and pushed into a position, and then he kind of had a number of issues. There was some injuries. He was affected by it as well. You know, mentally, it was tough on the boys. He's only a young lad and stuff like that as well. What do you think this move to Roma, or would you be in favouring more a move, stay in the Prem maybe?
I think this is the move that will make or break him. I think if we look at him and if we compare him to other players that we've seen have issues like this over the years, you get to a point where you go, this is the move. You know, if this lands the way it could land, Dean, what a silly question.
No, Dean,
what a silly question.
You know the answer to that.
And Andrew's in and Brody is in as well. The three of us are in, pal. Don't worry, we're in there. I think, you know, this either works really, really well, and you end up seeing a kid come back where he's built his confidence back up out of the limelight. He's played in a different league. It's a slower pace. It's a more physical league, which suits the way he's built and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely. I think it could go very, very well. Now, I think the other issue is if it doesn't go well, I think he's dead and buried. I think if it doesn't go well, his next move is Birmingham. And that's not a snide on Birmingham. That's just the way you're sliding, you know. And he ends up in the Championship with a Fulham trying to get back up, or with a Birmingham trying to get back up, or somewhere, and then he's getting 10 goals a season in the Championship. We're trying to make it sound like he's this big deal, and it's just not happening. This is big for Evan Ferguson.
Yeah. And you kind of feel, even if he went down in the Championship and they got promoted, he might be the guy that goes back down to a team in the Championship even, you know, so I don't know.
Yep.
We'll see. Yeah, I think, it's similar to McTominay and stuff like that. I think he could ball out there. He's a big unit. He's going to be fairly physical. And he'll have all the time in the world to show what he can do and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Tottenham will get Gibbs White, but transfer will be more than 60 million. Give me your thoughts on that. What did you say? We seen the other day, two massive here we goes in the space of 3 hours. Mohamed Kudus and Morgan Gibbs White. We both said, "Oh, Spurs are moving in the market."
Huge moves.
Yeah, and then
and then the plug was pulled quite quickly, wasn't it?
And not the right plug.
No, the plug was pulled very, very quickly.
What did you make of this NDA thing? And they've served court papers and stuff there, so they're going to go to some sort of court or arbitration or whatever it is. That apparently the release clause was an NDA and it was released into the sphere. Let's say one way or another, they're going to figure it out. Does this what way does this look in terms of Spurs and Forest? If Spurs pay more money, is it kind of an omission of guilt?
Well, I think they're going to be buying Forest silence, basically.
Yeah.
And I think they'll have to go in and say, listen, there's an extra 10%, there's 66. You know, don't tell the Premier League. Let's make it all sound smooth and let's just walk out holding hands and skip down the road and stuff like that. But I don't imagine the boy is going to... I don't imagine the boy's going to find it very easy getting out of Forest now. With Marinakis, I think he's going to make it real difficult. You've crossed the boss, and now you're going to pay the price, and you will be pulling on that Forest jersey. I don't think Gibbs White will live. I don't think he will. I think he ends up staying. Because I think
is it very difficult to stay when you've kind of expressed that you want. I
think it's difficult to stay, but it's probably more difficult to leave. Because I think now he's worried and he's looking over his shoulder, going, "When's this lad coming out of the shadows?" Because
the problem if he stays right with everything else that's going on at Forest, what's the like? What kind of Morgan Gibbs White are we going to get?
Well, again, I think that's where the fear factor comes in, and where Marinakis has the conversation and said, "Listen, maybe we have this conversation in 12 months' time, and we let you walk down the road. But for now, because of what you've done, you're going to have to give me another year." In Europe and in the Premier League, so that we can bury what's gone on with the agent and with Spurs and blah, you know.
I'm trying to play devil's advocate here because obviously the release clause is now out in the ether here, and we know that early in the transfer window, Man City were trying to be bent over a barrel for 80 million.
Yes,
if you remember just prior to the World Club Cup and stuff
which
like that,
prompted them to go for Ryan Cherky at 40 mil, so that they didn't end up, you know. Where if you're asking them now, if we would have told you we can get Gibbs White for an extra 20, would you have taken a City money? They said, you know what, we will, or no, we're happy with the boy, or whatever. So City can be slightly aggrieved as well with this.
Yeah. Right, two things to talk about here. Obviously, we found out today that you've gone back in with the deal. You've plunked up whatever extra money had to be plunked up on a Wemo and stuff like that. Does it kind of feel weird that you go and you do that now when you've held out for whatever it is, 4, 5, 6 weeks or whatever it is? This is kind of an ongoing saga that should have been really wrapped up very quick.
I think there's two issues here. We spoke about it earlier. Obviously, the two issues are we're going on tour next week, and Ruben Amorim will want him in that squad getting on the plane to go to the US. He needs players there to build a style, to build a formation, to build patterns of play. He'll need players. The other problem is with Newcastle sniffing around. I'm so excited about that, Romy. You've no idea. But with Newcastle obviously slipping around Johan Visa, and with Brentford saying they're not going to sell both of the lads, United have now decided we need to get this done yesterday to make sure that it's not Visa that leaves and we can't get the boy in Wemo out, because Brentford are digging their heels in and saying he ain't leaving. We've just lost, Norgard. We've just lost Flecken. We've just lost Vissa. We're not losing in Wemo and blah. So I think it's a tough situation. I think, to be honest with you, we should never have made it to this situation. This deal should have been done already. And it's not a great look again that we've had to be pushed to this point. And now all of a sudden he's a guy we can't live without. When all, I do have my biggest issue is I know as a United fan, as a Liverpool fan, for weeks and weeks and weeks, and Mbeumo was our target. Now, if you have 2 or 3 targets, you can pivot and you can play targets off against each other and you do stuff like that, right? We didn't have another target. There was nobody else named. There was no name came out. Like, if you're clever, you go and you have a conversation. Let's just say with an Eberechi Eze.
Yeah.
And you go and have a conversation, right? And all of a sudden you're putting bids on the table and you're saying to Brentford, listen, Palace look like they're going to do this. You know, we think we'll go for Eze unless you can do it at 62.5 or whatever way you want to do it, and forced our hand slightly. The issue is we didn't. We kept saying he's the one we want. He's the only one we want. We only want Mbeumo, which is great if you're on Mbeumo because, you know, you've United there and they're putting all their eggs in your basket.
And he came out and said you're the only ones he wanted as well. So
absolutely. So again,
that's a big statement
great.
for a player.
A massive statement. He turned down the offer of being reunited with Thomas Frank at Spurs and Champions League football.
Which I'd say as well is when a player does that as well, the club must be proper pissed off, like.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
You know they can set a narrative there to rally a price, like, you know. But if he says that it's United for me, forget about it, lads. Like, it's
100%.
You know.
But I think the issue was we weren't clever enough to have multiple targets where nobody in the situation knew what we were getting to and how it was gonna work for us.
Should we be offering Hoyland as a peace offering? I think if you offer anyone Hoyland, it's a declaration of war. It's not a peace offering.
And you know what? I think is nuts. I think Hoyland does a great job in the Brentford team.
Maybe that pressure off him.
Maybe huge.
That pressure off him where you can just focus on football. I
think here's the thing, right? And if we say timing is very important. I think if Rasmus Hoyland goes to Brentford 2 years ago, he's had a very different 2 years, and you're possibly looking at Newcastle and United and Forest looking to crowbar him out of Brentford. The problem is he came to United first, couldn't take the weight of the jersey, and now he's looking down.
And came in as well in a really bad time.
A really bad time. Timing is key to this, and he was there at the worst time possible. So
we know every player. We know every player that moves on from United as well. They tend to go out and ball out and play well. Like, so, yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. I wanted to talk to you, Jadon Sancho. There seems to be a deal there with Juventus where they've agreed most of the deal, but this severance package has come up, this 4.3 million. I know the appetite to get him out the door and all that exists, and I know this unwanted 5, if you want to call it, and wanting to get him out the door. How do you feel about these things like severance packages? Are they? Is it bad idea, good idea? Does it have to fit this kind of position you're in now? Does it look good? People getting laid off and losing jobs?
Yeah, listen, there's all that narrative around it. I think the issue is for us, if you don't get Sancho out the building with something attached to him, it leaves us in a more difficult position financially. So to get him out and lose part of it, 4.3 million, is way better than for him to stay, lose out on 15 mil and have that bad smell around the club for the next 12 months and stinking the place up. So for me, it's about cutting your losses, cutting your ties, getting rid of him and freeing up some funds and space in the squad for new incomings and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking, we spoke about the other day, if Sancho gets it, what's to stop Rashford knocking on the door? What's to stop Anthony knocking on the door? They all want severance packages, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I think with some of them, like, you know, they'll go, and we know the severance packages has been spoken about because he can't seem to get the volume. I think he can't seem to get the volume of wages anywhere else. So obviously, you know, United are paying him a certain amount of money, and he says, well, I'm going to lose out on money by going. I need you guys to make a payment to bridge the gap. Like, I don't think it's outlandish, if I'm honest. I
think it's something most of us in that position would probably ask for. But I just think, but from that point of view, I'm just thinking it's another thing that United have to bow to, and does it open this up in future situations and stuff and all, you know? And that's that does a set of precedent, basically, you know, and that's not
it
good.
possibly does, but you know, I think even at times you'll hear Sir Alex say, you know, there was no rules attached to some lads. Somebody do something in training, it was you can't do that, and then Eric could do it in training, and he go, Derek. So you know, you got to kind of take the rough with the smooth, and for me, it's just about backing the manager now, because the biggest issue is, you've given a guy a job and you've asked him to do a job, and you're not giving him the tools. Thanks, Dino.
Love
Good
you,
to see you, pal.
Talk to you tomorrow.
You're not giving him the tools to do the job, and that's really difficult. Like if I'm Ruben Amorim and I've done the January window and I got Patrick Dorgu in, and I'm doing this window now and I've got Matthias Cunha. Like if they keep drip feeding me players, it's going to take 6 years for me to get what I want.
Yeah, and you're getting statements from the likes of Barada and May saying we're ready, we've planned this window, we have options lined up, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the handcuffs are slapped on again. Like, you know,
and that's so tough. Like,
and then we know what the thing about Amorim as well. We know he's so brutally honest in the way he talks. You know what I mean? He talks in a way that he talks with his heart on his sleeve. It's not necessarily that he wants to throw United under the bus.
No.
He's not going to be the one that shelters this. You know what I mean?
He's also not going to be the one that says we didn't do it because of this reason. He's going to say to you, like, I know how to do this. I know what I need from a squad, pieces wise, you know, raw input. I need players that can play a 10. I need a 6 that can win a ball. I need wing backs. Give me what I want and I can do it for you. I've proven it elsewhere. I can do it here. Like, it has to be frustrating for him as well, where he's like, lads, I need pieces of this puzzle for this to move on, and it won't move otherwise.
Massively. Right, we're going to end the show with a bit of fun, right? FAI Cup coming up this weekend. So I wanted to get your predictions.
That's a long list.
I mean, you go down through them pretty quickly, but you don't have to touch on all of them. But obviously, Bray versus Wayside is the definitive local derby. So that should be
absolutely
tomorrow night. So I expect Bray to go through there. I presume you agree. Cork versus Leicester Celtic. Turner's Cross, Cork.
This is Cork. Yeah, 100%.
Cork, they're in trouble though, weren't they? You seen the fans on the pitch with the players last weekend and the management and all that kind of thing, and all trouble around there, you know.
They'll have enough for Leicester Celtic.
Drogheda versus Crumlin United.
Crumlin a great side, really great side. We've been lucky enough to play underage stuff against Crumlin in the last 18 months with Brody and Malahide and stuff, and they're a phenomenally run club, really, really great amateur club. So big up to Crumlin and stuff like that. But again, Drogheda here for me.
Yeah, Dundalk, I presume, over Sligo Rovers at Oriel Park, I would imagine.
No, I think that'll be a close one. I think I'd probably just side with Sligo because they're obviously the Premier League side here.
Oh, interesting. Finn Harps versus UCD, Finn Park.
Yeah, I don't think anybody likes travelling all the way up to Ballybuffet. It's a tough trip. It's a really tough trip, and I'm back Finn Harps here.
Yeah, absolutely. Galway United versus Talca Rovers.
Yeah, great tie for Talca Rovers again. But you know, Galway for me. Galway've been good at home this season. Plenty of goals in them, Galway. I think Galway here.
Not going to do them all. So a lot around you here, isn't there? Callester, Donny Carney versus Bowes.
Yeah, like this is obviously one for me because before Callester and Donny Carney were amalgamated, I played in goal for the first team at Callester.
This is part of the reason I'm getting you to do this, by the way.
Yeah, so this is obviously huge for me, you know. This is great. I'd love to see Callester get something out of it. You know, it's a shame it's not in Haddon Park. Obviously it's at Daly Mount and stuff like that. Would have been great for Callester to take Bowes to Haddon Park. But it's you know, Bowes are in a decent vein of form at the minute, and I think this will be a tough night at the office for Callester Donny Carney.
Yeah, interesting. Treaty versus Derry City.
Derry flying high here in the league. I don't see it being anything other than a Derry win.
Waterford St. Moctus.
So again, this is another one that kind of has a little bit of significance here. Andrew obviously plays for Kilbarrack. and he plays in goal for their Saturday side. And towards the end of the season last year, he got a call up to the senior team because their number one keeper was injured, meaning the number two stepped in, and Andrew was then the number two for the first team for the last 4 or 5 games of the season. And Kilbarrack finished the league season on a certain number of points. And Moctus were in their league. Now, they played Leinster Senior, so the top amateur league in the country. And they were 12 points ahead of Moctus, and Moctus had 4 games in hand. So Kilbarrack were done and dusted, and we're just waiting to see what happened. And Moctus won all their 4 last games, got a 94th minute winner in one of them, and won the league on goal difference. So it was a bit heart-wrenching for the Kilbarrack lads, but this is a decent Moctus side. I suppose if we're looking at upsets, this is probably one of the most likely places for it to happen. I think so, yeah. They're high off a league victory, and they will have had their eyes on this. There's some really, really nice players here as well. So I think this could be where one of the surprises comes in St. Moctus against Waterford.
Interesting. I'm going to skip down into Saturday. Fairview Rangers versus Shelbourne. Yeah,
I mean, local derby. You know, Talca Park is just through the fork in Fairview on the right-hand side. So unbelievable. Shelbourne for me. Great from Shelbourne as well, obviously. The qualifying rounds for the Champions League and stuff like that. Yes. They've guaranteed themselves 1.8 million in prize money, and they've also guaranteed themselves a minimum of a Europa Conference League playoff. So phenomenal for them. We could be looking at another team in the draw and making money, and it'd be great. It'd be great for Shells.
We looked Rovers last year in the journey it brought us on as well.
Sure did, absolutely.
And could have went a step further. In fairness, they were
very unlucky. Very unlucky.
And then we have what else? Sunday we're going Castlebar Celtic versus Longford Town.
Yeah, I don't think Longford Town will enjoy that. That'll be tough. I don't know a whole lot about the Castlebar Celtic side, but I just know if I'm in Longford, it's a bit of a spin to get up there. And probably would they're playing the game in the evening time, give the lads a bit of time off the bus and whatever. But anytime you have a long journey like that, it can be tough. Possible upset. I'm going to put me 2 upsets at Castlebar Celtic and Moctus. That's where I'm going to land them.
Right, and the last one, St. Pat's. Speaking of long trips, St. Pat's versus UCC at Richmond Park.
Yeah, this is Pat's for me. Struggling a little bit in the league, but I think they'll get things back on the road in the FAI.
Struggling for goals, which could be interesting.
Yeah.
Struggling for goals. So there you go. I thought that'd be a nice way to round out the show, because obviously a few connections there and stuff like that. And all
absolutely.
And we didn't get to cover much of the FAI Cup last year, except in the latter stages. Right, folks, that's it. Another show in the bag. It is Thursday, so if you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, drop a like on the video, all that. I think Saturday around 8 o'clock, I'll be on with Dino for that Liverpool show. I'm going to put it together tomorrow, myself and Dino. We'll be chatting. And then next weekend, there's even talk.
I might let you boys do that on your own, because they call me Tiny Tears in this house. And I'm not quite sure you guys need me raining on your parade on Saturday evening. So
no,
I might opt out of that one.
Yeah. But there might be something interesting coming up for you, because there's talk from the panel on Pro Wrestling Weekly. There's talk that there might be a SummerSlam watch along. So there we go. That might interest you now. That might tickle you.
It might, you know.
We shall see. There we go.
It just might.
So keep an eye out for that if it happens. We haven't put it together yet, but it may or may not happen. We'll have to see. Right, folks. Have a safe weekend. Enjoy it. Enjoy whatever you're up to and all, and have a great time. Make the most of everything that you do. And I will see you back on Saturday evening with Dino, and the usual on Monday with Marky. Until next time, folks. Cheers. Cheers, bro.
Over now, pal.